let's get into some of these coaching hires, man.
Oh, boy.
Because news broke today about the Cleveland Browns
Oh.
being the Cleveland Browns.
Man.
But we'll get to that one in a minute, man, because we got a few of them. So let's start with Baltimore, man. They hired Jesse Minter, previously the DC for the Los Angeles Chargers, longtime Jim Harbaugh assistant with the Ravens in various capacities before ending up as a defensive back coach in 2020. He was also the defensive coordinator at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh for the national championship run in 2023. I suspected that they would make a defensive hire. Baltimore needs to restore the defensive side of the ball, assuming that Lamar Jackson returns to form. Coupling him with the dominant defense seems, to always have been the appropriate recipe, man. But we'll say the people's champ.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think maybe a lot of that, the conversations that John Harbaugh had with the ownership in Baltimore on his way out probably had a lot to do with Minter getting in.
Yeah.
To kind of make that transition as smooth as possible.
Yep.
So not a big surprise. I think time will tell in terms of who he'll bring in and establish in terms of their offensive philosophy. I think defensively, I think he'll have an immediate impact because their defense was just so putrid last year.
Yes,
it was. Their defense was just bad.
Very bad.
So, I think he'll have an immediate impact there. But offensively, I think it's kind of a wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. And the Miami Dolphins hired Jeff Hafley, previously the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. He was also the head coach at Boston College for 3 years, from 2020 to 2023. Also a defensive head coach, a clear deviation from Mike McDaniels, who was an offensive guru. I don't have strong feelings about it. Don't really care about the Dolphins at all, frankly. Tyreek likely won't play much, if at all, next year. Tua is still owed a ton of money. They need tons of help everywhere on defense. I don't expect anything impactful for quite some time. But what say the people's champ?
The shit be sinking.
That part.
Yeah, you can keep playing the violins on that bitch if you want to. But, the Miami thing is over.
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt. I'm like, all right, then.
Because, I think McDaniel's just creativity was just kind of keeping Tua afloat.
Right.
And then you factor in who's going to be available to him next year, because I'm sure Waddle's gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know if he walking with the way that injury was with his leg. That was a gruesome injury, and I doubt that he won't be back to start the year. He might be back at some point next year, I guess. But that was a gruesome injury. And even if he comes back, is he gonna be Tyreek? That was a very nasty, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate the gravity of that injury. Man, that was a gruesome injury for a guy who depends very much on speed. He's not a precise route runner. It's not as if he's going to, evolve his position. Like his whole thing is being fast. So that's a very interesting situation. Buffalo Bills hire, or more aptly promote, Joe Brady, previously their OC. So we just promoting people in Buffalo
from within.
Yeah, why actually go out and find someone? You had a defensive problem and a defensive head coach. I complimented Joe Brady for being a really excellent OC, but this just feels like promoting Brandon Beane. I heard they were thinking about interviewing Sean McDermott for the defensive coordinator position. I'm joking, but this has been the most lazy hiring process that I've ever seen in NFL history.
Oh, they just do a corporate restructuring.
Right. I'm like,
you, man.
What exactly is happening over in Buffalo, and where's the? But we'll say the people's champ. Any thoughts on Buffalo promoting the offensive coordinator to head coach?
It's what a joke. What is going on over there?
I have no idea.
You've got what some people have called the best football player ever here on your team.
Yeah.
They just need a couple of pieces, and I think just a recharge and a slight shift in philosophy
Right.
I think they're better at the more of an RPO type of team,
right,
where they can just kind of pound the ball. But I think to their when they lost a lot of receivers and Keon Coleman didn't really pan out the way that they wanted to, the option part just
yeah. I'm like, but what about getting a great defensive coordinator that could scheme it up? I mean, look at what Robert Saleh was getting out of San Francisco.
That's true.
So like I think they have better personnel than San Francisco had this year with all of their best pieces, a lot of their best pieces down. So, man, I don't really get what's going on.
They still have a chance to nail a defensive guy because they still didn't have the worst coaching search of the whole period.
Oh no, I'm getting to Cleveland. No. Cleveland Browns.
Man.
Thank you for helping me transition to the Cleveland Browns, hiring Todd Monken, previously the OC for the Baltimore Ravens. He's 59 years old. He is, in my opinion, I've made no bones about it, a very bad play caller. He's bad at situational football. He lacks creativity. He makes very poor use of his offensive weapons, but the good news is Cleveland doesn't have any offensive weapons. So what say the people's champ about Cleveland Browning up this coaching hire?
Yeah, I mean, surprise, surprise. If there was the worst move to be made, we know who'd make it, and they did it.
They did.
Shedeur, get out of there.
Right, yeah, please.
Like, you're not doing yourself no favors there because they'll see to it that they won't do any for you. So just beat it and just get out of there, man.
Good
Lord.
They did all of that. They did all of these tests and having people do homework and whatnot. You're telling them, like, if you come in, we need you to keep Jim Schwartz. Why not just hire Jim Schwartz? Now you about to lose Jim Schwartz. And now if I'm Buffalo, that's who I'm going to get.
Okay, exactly. Now I like that.
Yeah, I like the Jim
Schwartz in Buffalo. I like that.
Yeah, that's who they need. They need a defensive guy.
But honestly, next year, Andrew Berry needs to be in the same boat as Brandon Beane. They both need to be working for their job.
Yeah. That's absolutely crazy.
And it's crazy that both of them are still there and they're hiring another coach because I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, this is the one I really wanted to discuss at length a little bit more. The Pittsburgh Steelers hired Mike McCarthy, previously the Dallas Cowboys head coach. This one I don't get at all. He's the oldest day one Pittsburgh Steelers head coach in history. 62 years old. He's obviously not going to coach for 20 years. This doesn't indicate to me that they're seriously considered doing what needs to be done, which is tearing it down and rebuilding. This could actually mean the unspeakable, which is bringing back Aaron Rodgers, who, in my opinion, is obviously seeing his best days. He doesn't want to get hit. He's temperamental. He blames his teammates, even when it's obviously his fault. He's only getting older and less effective. I mean, what is Pittsburgh doing with this hire? We need the people's champ to bring some clarity to the situation, man. We need you to talk Ty down, man. Help him. If Ty is watching, man, we here to help Ty.
I love you, brother. Hey, man, welcome. This is some shit the Lions would have did in 2001. I don't have anything for this.
When I saw this, I was like,
I couldn't believe it. I was
what
like,
is
this
happening?
Is a joke,
right? Yeah, like, is the coaching pool this bad?
Who was looking for him?
Right.
That was my whole thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, they could have interviewed him last. Like, who was waiting on Mike? Like, he's been available all year.
Yeah, really.
Like, all year. Wow. And to your point, my second thought was, does this mean?
Right. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Oh, yeah.
And then from there, as you can see, the laughter ensues. Right. I mean, dude, that man needs to be as far away from a professional football field next season as like the cameramen, dude. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do it. Because he's going to get seriously hurt, man. Yeah. Because he's playing not to get hurt.
Yeah.
And a surefire way to get your block knocked off in football is to play cautious and not to get hurt.
I agree.
So, there's no winners.
Yeah. I don't know what Pittsburgh is doing.
What are the terms of that deal?
I didn't even dig into the contract details.
Yeah, I couldn't get past the little team logo. You know how they show the story? It was like the Pittsburgh colors and Mike McCarthy's picture, and I just said, "Wow, that is insane."
5-year contract.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand.
I guess 5 is just that number that they just throw out there. I guess that's just like the standard.
But they need to rebuild. They need to draft a quarterback once and what is the deal? Draft a quarterback once and for all. Start siphoning off some of these high price contracts that are not resulting in anything. I understand you backdoored your way into a division win, bro, but come on, man. You're not a serious contender.
No.
You're not a couple of pieces away. You need to rip it down to the studs and rebuild it.
Yep. Because their division is still, I would say, probably the most winnable in the league. Because I think you just have like a lot of ifs with a lot of teams.
That's true. Yeah, I think that. But on the other hand, a couple of guys stay healthy. If Lamar and Joe Burrow get healthy and stay healthy,
right,
it's back to being one of the hardest divisions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
This past season, everything broke right for him.
Right. So that's a fact.
I
with
think
Joe Burrow at this point, it's always a win.
Yeah.
In terms of ifs. It's like a win now with Joe Burrow.
But if they fortify the offensive line in front of him and they can keep him upright, I mean, we know that.
Oh, yeah. He's the killer.
Yeah. We know that
but they refuse to protect him.
Yeah. Listen, that's another conversation entirely, man.
Maybe this decision is their way of saying 2026 is a chalk year, and we gonna bring Mike in, let wherever the cars fall where they fall, and then in 2027 try to find our quarterback. Because back to the question that Lance had asked at the end of the regular season, it was the situation that Lance had proposed with T.J. Watt and Lamar Jackson could have actually happened. The Ravens picked before the Steelers that the year TJ came in, and the Steelers had a pick before they took Lamar with that second first round pick. So they could be, if you're not looking at 2018 at least and saying we screwed up when we could have had our quarterback. But maybe next year is the year you we can't screw it up. We gotta
get one of these guys.
I mean, I guess that the one thing we do know is that Mike McCarthy can develop a quarterback.
That's true.
He developed Aaron Rodgers. But are the Steelers actually going to draft a quarterback so that he can develop them? And he's 62 years old, right. So he don't have 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have 5 to 7 year runway. You're going to have to develop somebody so that somebody else can take them over. And that's the other part. I don't really understand what Pittsburgh is up to, but
I just want to point out Cincinnati is 2 years older.
Yeah.
I know it's a different game though. Pro and college are two
yeah, totally exactly. Games. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't hire Kurt Cincinnati either if I was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh likes to have a long runway with their.
Yeah, I mean, they've only had, 3?
Yeah.
3 coaches. 50 years.
So, at any rate, man.